We'll call this meeting to order at 9:31 a.m. In the true spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge all those that call this land home now and for thousands of years in the past. May we respect each other and find understanding together and recognize the benefits that this land provides to all of us. We'll now move forward with council taking their official oath of office for their respective divisions. Congratulations to council. I would now entertain a motion to accept the agenda as presented. John? Call to question. Those in favor? Moved. All right, so we will move forward with the nominations and voting for the REEVE. If council would like to, for the secret ballot one? Yeah. If we would like to vote via secret ballot, I would entertain a motion to do so for the office of REEVE, Deputy REEVE, and the committees. Lauren?
I would make a motion to that we have a voting by secret ballot for REEVE, Deputy REEVE,
and committees. Okay. Call to question. Those in favor? So moved. So the ballots are being used. Can we also entertain a motion to destroy the ballots at the end of the meeting? Mark?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that the destruction of the ballots at the conclusion of the vote.
Call to question. Those in favor? Moved. And lastly, it would be my recommendation that council entertain appointing Devin Teely, Director of Development and Infrastructure, as the scrutineer. John, call to question. Those in favor? Moved. Learned that lesson, but yeah, that's, yeah. Okay, we'll move forward with the handing out of the ballots.
So the nominations for REEVE are John Curbis and Tori Campbell.
Thank you, Devin. Councillor Curbis, do you accept the nomination?
I appreciate the nomination, but I respectfully decline.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Campbell, do you accept the nomination?
I will accept the nomination.
Okay. With only one nominated and accepted, Councillor Campbell will be acclaimed. So I would entertain a motion that Councillor Campbell will be appointed as Reeve of Lethbridge County for the 2025-26 year. Lauren?
Thank you. I would move that Tori Campbell be appointed as Reeve for the Lethbridge County Council for the term of 26, 27, or 26?
25, 26.
25, 26, sorry.
Perfect. Call to question. Those in favor? It's moved.
I, Tori Campbell, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute, according to law, the office of Reeve for Lethbridge County, so help me God. Thank you, Council. Appreciate your support for another year. It's been an honor being the Reeve of Lethbridge County. Welcome back, everyone that came back. Welcome to Tony. Excited for the next year and the rest of the term. Without further ado, why don't we move down in our agenda. We'll move to the election of Deputy Reeve for the ensuing year. We'll have ballots for the nomination of Deputy Reeve.
Pardon me, the nominations for Deputy Reeve are Mark Sayers and John Curbis.
Thank you. Thank you, Devin. Mark, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I will.
Thank you, Mark. John, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Thanks, Candace. Thank you, Candace. Sorry, Don.
Oh, it's okay. The person with the most votes for Deputy Reeve is John Curvis.
Congratulations, John. I would entertain a motion to appoint John Curvis as the Deputy Reeve of Lethbridge County for the ensuing year 25-26. Mark?
I'd move that we appoint John Curvis as Deputy Reeve.
Thank you, Mark. Any discussion? Call a question. Those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Congratulations, John.
I, John Curvis, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to the law the office of Deputy Reeve for Lethbridge County, so help me God. Guess that's an important step. Thank you.
Can we just take a 5-minute moment to set up the council, please?
We may. Let's recess for 5 minutes and we'll return at Okay, we'll call the meeting back to order at 9:54 a.m. this morning. Move down in our agendas to the appointment of internal committees. So maybe before we get too far down the road, these are council's committees. These are the, council holds these committees. Is there anything that we see on any of the lists, and I'll defer to Cole too as well, from administration's perspective, before we get down too far, is there anything that we need to talk about maybe moving away from? Or is there somewhere where we should be spending our time? And then, like I said, Cole, internally, is there something that you see there's a void where we could potentially add? And I would open it up to council for any thoughts, or administration for any thoughts on the list itself before we start tackling them individually. I guess I will, so then, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the one that I've had questions on is the Lethbridge Co-op seed cleaning plant. Although I believe it's a very small commitment, I'm not aware of our purpose of being on there.
Thank you, Eric. Lauren?
Not necessarily a concern about the committees, but I'm just wondering, when we go through picking who's going to be on what, I'm kind of wondering if somebody's currently the chair of that, should they be put back into that committee? Or what, I don't know what people's thoughts are on that. Because there's going to be some big changes in some of these external ones.
Yeah.
Like I know, for instance, FCSS has got a huge change coming in the amount of people who decided not to run or were defeated.
Yeah, I guess I would open it up to anyone's thoughts. My thought in this is that we are going in with a clean slate. It's a new council, a clean slate, and I think we have to do what's best. As much as we want to support these organizations, I think we need to do what's best for us, and I think that part of that is leveling the load so that we all have an equal share. I think if we can try to find a way to get people something that interests them, that they're passionate about, I think that's important. I'm less concerned about that, I guess, myself personally, Lauren. But I would totally, it's up to, essentially, it's at the end of the day, it's up to council how they want to handle that. Go ahead, Mark.
I think that it's, we've been thinking about this and haven't been on the one term and with the same committee for the full 4 years. I think there's value in moving around and sitting in different committees, just to have a better understanding about, what these other organizations are doing. And the other thing too, around at the end of the day, is we as a council should come up with some type of reporting mechanism so that after a committee meeting, so we can report back to council, because I've found in the last few years there's a lot of committees that are, we hear things at council that we're not aware of because we haven't, taken the time to research it or else had a report given to us. And I'm as guilty as that for the committees I'm on. So, and if there is one or two committees or a committee that you're on that you're the chair or there's a piece of, then fine. But for one or two, but not if there's a bunch. If you're chair for several committees, it'd be tough to say stay on because you're the chair. So I think it's I'm sure we all have a committee where we like or that we prefer, but I think that it provides great value to the council to be able to move around and try different ones, so you're not in the same committee for 8 years.
To Eric's comment, when we did our more fulsome community review, I shared a similar concern around if we still brought value to that, and I know the comment was that they appreciated having someone who was maybe not necessarily a producer but had a voice and came to that. But I would agree with Eric. I don't see value in us continuing that relationship. I think we'd be better off not to, would be my suggestion for the number 7, the County of Lethbridge Co-op Seed Cleaning Plant. Are there any other, sorry, go ahead, Cole.
Thank you, through the chair. There's a couple, and I would maybe, I would agree with Councillor Sayers that I think we can do a better job and maybe a more structured approach on some of the committee updates, because even for me, there are a few of them I can't speak to. So I have a few I wouldn't mind asking the question, as I don't totally understand what our ongoing role is. So one of which would be the Health Professional Recruitment and Retention Committee. I know that was, I think the short-term desire of that committee was accomplished with Pitcher Butte, but the ongoing role that we play, I'm uncertain as to what that looks like or how we represent that. And then the one that's come up a few times, and I think there's a few of these that we need to do the committee appointments, but they need to be ongoing conversations or evaluated in terms of the budget, because they do have withdrawal terms and everything else, whether that's South Grove, the Chamber of Commerce, our role in all of those. And I know that there's been mixed feelings on how we advocate support and what our purpose is on those things. So I would just put that forward for council discussion or consideration, either now or to evaluate at the time of budget deliberations.
Okay, cool. Good job.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Given that this is a fairly extensive list, would it maybe make sense to go through them, line by line and then have a discussion rather than sort of popping all over the place of, okay, well, I think this one has merit, and, if we start at the top and work our way down, and if we have a discussion as to whether there is merit in continuing at that point in time.
And appointing as we go
Yeah.
as well. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, with that then, why don't we, so you have the list in front of you. Why don't we start at number 1? Oh, and sorry, just for clarification, I know we passed the motion to secret ballot. Are we still all, we're comfortable with that for secret ballot? And I would just, again, please, if there's something that you want, speak your piece. Tell us why you want to be there, and no feelings will be hurt. Like, let's do this right, so we get some equality. Go ahead, Eric.
Question, I think we might have a mistake here on number 16, Village of Barnwell. Is that maybe Village of Barons?
Barons, yeah.
No, we're growing, we're moving east.
We're growing.
Thank you.
We're annexing paper.
Okay, so with that, why don't we begin at the top. Number 1, Ag Service Board and Chairman. 4 members of council, 3 members at large, 1 member as chairman. I would open it up to the group, or how do we want to do this? I would open it up to the group for any discussion. Kevin?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think with this one being in the realm of where we are kind of focused on, for the reporting side, if we really try to make sure we report a little bit more in depth of what comes through there, I would like to stay on that one if possible, but yeah. Okay.
Any other thoughts?
Question.
Eric?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Who is our current chairman of Ag Services?
John. And Lauren, you're part of that currently, correct? Or you're on Ag Service?
I think I'm vice. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah. Yeah, never done it, so.
And Morris was and Kevin? Okay.
And Klaus was.
Klaus was.
Klaus
Okay.
was for it. Yeah.
Yes, currently it was Klaus, myself, Lauren, and Kevin.
Okay. Is there any other interest on Ag Service?
I'd be interested in seeing.
Tony? I think we're gonna need some ballots, Candace.
Just a blank sleeve of paper is fine.
Yeah, I'm just going to give you these ones.
So we write down 4 or?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that's how that works. Yeah.
Oh, I need to tally them? This isn't, oh, I thought this was nomination. Okay, give me some more time. Damn it. Shut up. Oh, I'm trying. This is so slow. Ay, ay, ay. Which one? Oh, audit. Oh, come on, no tie. We have a tie for fourth. I'll list the three and then the ties. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the votes tallied for ASB, we have Kevin, Tony, Eric, but with John, Mark, and Lauren tied. So we'll need another vote for that fourth position. So you'll be voting John, Mark, or Lauren.
John, Mark, or Lauren?
Can I
Go ahead, John.
say something there? Given the, you can give me a ballot, that's fine. But given the fact that I've been on ASB for the last 4 terms, and that we do have new people that expressed an interest in this, I'll happily withdraw my name from the ballot to leave room for other people. So if everybody's comfortable, you can vote for either Mark or Lauren.
Okay.
I am the chair, but I mean, the thing is that the chair can be decided with somebody else, and I mean, and that doesn't mean I'm disappearing, that just means that I'm not on a PSP yet. Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty sure I heard that. Candace, are we live streaming right now? Okay.
Eric's back, guys.
Want to
Eric's
note
back.
that?
No, that's okay, now that, you know, everybody's watching.
It's better the second time around.
You can go watch the video, it's live.
We don't have a upgraded microphone yet, do we?
So the tie-breaking vote goes to Mark.
Congratulations, Mark. And we'll confirm these all at the end, correct, Candace? We don't need motions, as we go along, correct? Okay. Okay, number 2, Audit Committee, 3 members. Oh. But it's not on their recommendation, though? Isn't it on ASB's recommendation, they recommend it and then we do?
We can do that.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, to the chairman,
'Cause a member
for
at
that
large
board, a member at large could be
could-
chairman, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 2, audit committee, 3 members. Do we have 3 members of council who are interested in being on audit committee? 1, 2, 3. Are there any other members interested in being on audit? I think we're good there, Candace. So we'll have John, Eric, and Lauren. Okay, okay. Emergency Advisory Committee. Cole, can you just maybe speak to that one, what that one actually is?
Yeah, so this is our emergency management, intermunicipal emergency management advisory committee. So we have a position that the county holds, but that is part of a joint partnership with the town of Colehurst, Pitcher Butte, Nobleford, and Barrens. And so this is a committee that oversees that work for emergency preparedness, emergency response, and some of those intermunicipal, larger scale emergency situations.
This is not fire services.
This is not fire services.
Do you anticipate us striking a fire services, either one to work with the town or other one down the road, not for today necessarily?
Not for today. I think that the town of Coaldale has expressed that they would like to stand up their emergency services, which is fire services, and that's where it gets the wires get a little bit crossed, is the dual use of emergency there. They would like to strike up that committee again, which I would advise that we do as we work towards a more productive, collaborative fire response model south of the river over the next 3 to 4 years. But at this time, this would be the emergency management component of that, and then we will find out once we get those agreements signed moving into 2026. We will just keep that in mind, that also will be coming forward.
Okay. Is there anyone interested in being a part of the Emergency Advisory Committee? I have Kevin, John, and Tony. Is there any other interest in the Emergency Advisory Committee? If not, Kevin, John, and Tony. Congratulations. The Bursary Award Committee, 3 members. Do you have interest? Kevin, Lauren,
You guys are skilled at it. Yeah.
want to do it again? Okay. Mark. Kevin, Lauren, and Mark for the Bursary Award Committee. Thank you. The Water Co-op Liaison Committee. Interest? Tony, Eric, John? Go ahead, Cole.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through the chair, just to Councillor Ankerman, is there a conflict of interest with your representation of the Iron Springs Water Co-op? Because your on this committee, your fiduciary obligation would be to the county, and I just wanted to flag that and ask if that's going to be a conflict of interest.
No, that's good there. I am stepping down in that position over there, so yeah, there will be no more interest on my part for the co-op in Iron Springs, and definitely my goal would be for the county side for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, and just wanted to ask that. Appreciate it.
That was Tony, Eric, and John, correct? Correct. Any other interest? Not? Strategic Planning Committee. Cole, you want to speak to that?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this is a committee that we would like to stand up to help steer our strategic planning activities this spring that will set the strategic plan and goals of council over the next term. So it's an opportunity for us to reset, to identify what our priorities are, to review. So administration will be bringing forward recommendations and options for discussion with this committee, but we feel it's important that we have a strategic planning committee to evaluate that and help us formulate that plan to bring back to council for final review and recommendation.
Okay. Is there interest in being? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Eric.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Due to strategic plan being something that, that is council's role to be planning, could you extrapolate why a committee would do this over a whole council?
Yeah, thank you, through the chair to Councillor Van Essen. So the committee will not be doing the strategic plan. It will be helping us evaluate facilitators, how we want to approach it, what some of the defined outcomes are, what we're looking for to bring that back to council for recommendation, and then we would move forward with a strategic planning session. One of the reasons we want to do this, and maybe I'll speak fairly candidly, is I think that we're really poor in the industry at doing strategic plans. I think they don't have a lot of KPIs attached to them. They can be very cerebral and high level, but they don't translate very well tactically to how we implement and meet those goals and objectives. And so we want to make sure that this gets the time and effort required so that when we move into the strategic planning session, we're getting something meaningful out of it, because we have a lot of opportunities, and I know I've used the analogy before, but we've knocked on a lot of doors, and we need to know which ones council wants us to walk through and what we need to pursue. And so this is just us setting the groundwork to bring the facilitator in, to see what we want those defined outcomes to be, and then we'll move forward, and that will be a full council activity, including senior administration.
So just to clarify also, this will be like a one-off, it's a 1 year, this isn't a 4-year commitment, but which is, because the strategic plan is a 4-year document, correct?
Yeah, so through the chair to Councillor Sayers, the front end of this committee will be to establish that plan. However, I think we're going to evaluate, depending on what that plan looks like, whether it's ongoing or not. It may still be needed. Well, there will be updates brought back to council as a whole. There may be check-in points, there may be some direction needed along the way, and so the committee could essentially stand in place for the entire term to help us manage that strategic plan. But that is something that I think we'll have a better understanding once we actually have the plan in place and know what those priorities are and the best path for us to evaluate and assess that.
Any other questions on the strategic planning committee? Is there interest in the strategic planning committee? I would, yeah.
Well, you're de facto member of it. We should still appoint set members.
1, 2, Mark? Kevin? Any other interest?
Well, you
Thank you. Anyone else?
need to see the tracks.
All right. Okay, so that'll be Mark, Kevin, and myself then. HR Governance Committee, 3 members. Cole, do you want to maybe speak to that one too, please?
Yes, please.
So this is one that there will be some ongoing work related to HR-related policies, some of the safety components and things that we've discussed in the past. And then this will also be the committee that will evaluate or help facilitate the CAO performance review and that process. I think my recommendation would be having a smaller committee might make that a little bit easier versus all of council, just based on some of the challenges we've had with coordinating and everything else. But having that lie solely with the REEVE is also a lot for one person to facilitate. So I think setting the direction and then bringing that back to council as a recommendation would be how we would like to approach some of those things.
Thank you, Cole. Any thoughts and any interest in the HR Governance Committee? John, Lauren? And maybe you? I could do that too. That's right. So, John, myself,
Sir, the ball is holding me.
and myself. Okay. Lauren. Okay, that takes us down to our external committees. ASB delegates with voting privileges. How's that work, Candace? Can that go to, back to ASB too?
I think 2 of the voting members on the board.
Okay. But it'll have to be council members, not at large. Okay, so from Kevin, Tony, Eric, and Mark will need to select 2 voting members. Is that correct, Candace? And an alternate.
Given the resolution practice at ASB, that's almost a
Kevin? Mark? So Kevin and Mark have volunteered to be voting members. Is there any other interest?
Yeah, sure.
We can have, because we can have an election, that's fine.
Well, we need an alternate anyway.
Oh, if you want to be alternate, that's fine, yeah.
Yeah, I'll look for that.
Okay. Okay. You good with that, Candace? Okay. Number 2, Barron's Eureka Warner Family and Community Support Services, 1 member. Is there interest in FCSS?
You want to do it, Mark? Sure, yeah.
Yep. Is there any other interest in FCSS? Okay. Moving down, Chinook Arch Regional Library. Eric, keep your comments to yourself.
Who was on it previously?
How Victoria's been.
So Chinook Arch, you meet 3 times a year. It's a quite a large board. Over 40 members are part of Chinook Arch. I have been the representative for 8 years. I think Robin and his team are top notch. I do think there is an opportunity for some fresh blood on the board and on the executive as well. So if it's something that, if it's an area where you might like to serve in a leadership capacity on an executive, I would highly encourage you to put your name forward. And if not, if you want to just be a board member, we meet 3 times a year. I currently sit on one committee, so you meet an additional 2 times a year if you're part of a committee, I believe. Meetings are in Lethbridge. They feed you supper. Yeah.
Is that that's been paid?
There's some free. I think there's some free stuff involved. Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I
Go-
take it
go
from
ahead.
your comments, you would prefer to see somebody else do this?
Well, I mean, I think that it would be great for them to have somebody that was new to the board. I'm not saying that I don't. I show up and I'd like to think that I bring my opinions, but yeah, 8 years is a long time to serve, and I would be willing to step back if no one else wanted to. But if there was, I will continue in that vein if that's council's wish too. All right, I'm gonna stay on Chinook Arch Library then.
Sorry, I'll do
Thank
it.
you.
I got it.
You wanna do it, Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Kevin. Coldell Chamber of Commerce. I know that we've had discussions around the participation in the chambers, what that means. I'd open it up for any discussion there. Go ahead, Eric.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, I am still currently on the Picture Butte Chamber as an executive. Really, I see the county's role on the chamber as information updates. That is really what we're like, hey, what's the county up to? And sharing the updates. Value for effort or time is negligible. Just, it's a PR piece in my opinion.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Why I appreciate Eric's comments on that in terms of the PR piece. I think you're right, it is a PR piece, but I also see and recognize and understand that the importance of making sure that we're there and we're visible. We say that we're open for business and we want to attract new opportunities to the county. And I think part of that is actually, being there and saying, hey, yeah, this is who we are, and giving the updates.
you know, it's not a huge commitment in terms of time, and it's one member, and I still think that there's importance of having it. And especially from the Coaldale standpoint, I think it's important to have somebody that is at least close or connected to the region.
Okay, go Mark.
Say that I think the difference between Coaldale and Pitcher Butte District Chamber of Commerce, and Coaldale is the Coaldale Chamber of Commerce, so it's just the businesses within Coaldale. So I haven't been attending the meetings. There's, you know, you go for, it's a lunch hour meeting and there's sessions, and it's more of the purpose of the Coaldale Chamber is just to, you know, get new members and just deal with the members within the town of Coaldale. So that's, yeah, I question that for a couple of meetings, just the value, and to Eric's point, it's, and if it's just a matter of sending in a report, we can send in a report too. I mean, I just, anyway, that's my opinion.
Any other thoughts on the Coaldale Chamber? Go ahead.
Yeah, if nobody else is willing to sit on that, I would sit on it.
Well, I would volunteer.
Oh, okay.
If,
I would yield to
Yeah.
you on that then, because that's.
and I don't want to take it from you, Mark, but if we want to, no, but if we're gonna stay, I do think that one of us that touches Coaldale in some way should probably, I think that would probably be best, but I'll do that. Okay. Community Futures, Lethbridge Region. John?
Thank you. I'm heavily entrenched in Community Futures and involved. I'm currently the chair on that committee, and there is still much work to do on that. I've got a maximum of 5 years left before I would time out that organization, and I would very much appreciate staying on as the representative for that committee.
Thank you. Is there any other comments, discussion on Community Futures, Lethbridge Region? Seeing none? Thank you, John. The County Irrigation and Alberta Irrigation Projects Association, 2 members. Tony? Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Could one of the past members speak a bit of its intent, purpose, and progress?
Either one of them's here.
Lost the progress.
Such a good committee to move.
Somebody want to call the box?
Did you ever do that one, Mark?
I think the biggest advantage is to when you go to their actual yearly conference and you have a chance to visit with the different districts and find out their plans and how they address future irrigation needs. And I think they also are willing, or have been, to talk about water needs for municipalities.
That conference is great. That's one of
Yeah,
the better ones for sure.
It's good, really good conference.
Sorry, I saw hands. Who, Tony? Any other interest? Lauren? Yeah. Any other interest? Okay. Any other interest? Okay, we have 3. You want your name? No. Okay. We'll vote. Tony, Lauren, Eric are your 3 choices, and we need 2. Please. Don't put all 3 names. Could. It's kind of.
Boy, the voter security on that box is
Right?
spectacular.
You're breaking through that sucker.
Devin, what do you do if there's 9 votes? 9 ballots.
All right, those who received the most votes are Tony and Lorne.
Thank you, Tony and Lauren. We are not quite halfway. Cole, do you have a tally of where we're at so far?
Tony currently sits on 4 committees, Lauren on 4, Eric on 3, Tori on 3, John on 5, Kevin on 6, Mark on 5.
Okay. Number 7, County of Lethbridge Co-op seed clean plant. Is there an appetite to continue with the seed clean plant, or are we comfortable not sitting? Eric?
Is this something we should make a motion over of discontinuing, sitting on it?
Are you comfortable with that, Eric, if we don't appoint someone?
Yeah.
Is that,
All good.
how's the rest of council feel about that?
Not like we're protecting our assets or anything.
Okay, then we will leave that one vacant and capture that as part of the final motion and send them a letter just informing them of that decision. Number 8, Economic Development Lethbridge, 1 member. I'm currently on EDL. I'm not entirely sure of the future of EDL. So the city has gone down the path of allocating funds towards a economic development strategy. They have posted several positions, economic development related. I don't believe they've provided the results of a report, but a summary report on the report that suggests council is looking in a different direction than what currently Economic Development Lethbridge provides for the city. Obviously, there's a change in leadership at Economic Development Lethbridge. I do think that they're a great group doing great things, and I think there is I'm not exactly sure what the path forward is, but I think there's going to be a lot of hard discussions over the next 6 to 8 months on what that looks like. Go ahead, John.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Given that you've been on this committee for an extended period of time and you're very much aware of what's happening, I believe it would make sense to maintain the status quo until some of this shakes out, if you would be willing to continue on.
I would, yeah. That's agreeable? Okay, thank you. Number 9, Green Acres, 1 member. Lauren?
I would like to remain there if I could.
Lauren, is there any other interest in Green Acres? Thank you, Lauren. Number 10, the Health Professional Recruitment and Retention Committee. I know you kind of touched on that. Cole, Lauren, maybe I'd defer to you, yeah.
So I believe the committee has obtained its objective as to what set out to do. They are still wanting to meet, I think, quarterly, or maybe every 4 months. They're not 100% certain yet. I don't really see what they're trying to accomplish, because the current doctor has told them that there's no need for another doctor, and he doesn't want another doctor coming into town. I think the biggest need would be for additional nurse practitioners or something like that, because they're currently completely booked. They have 2 in Picture Butte now, but so I don't know where the committee's going. I don't really see us as having a role there anymore.
Go ahead.
Is there any political advantage for sitting on that, or would that be, shall we say, not positively viewed on if we pulled out?
I don't really see any political advantage. The only thing you are is trying to represent, you probably have just about as many county residents as you would residents from Picture Butte who are in need of those services. I think probably the biggest service they would want to retain is their, what do you call it, not emergency, urgent care clinic they have, and it's kind of depends on the time of day as to how many people will show up doctor-wise, but that's kind of out of the committee's control. That's more Alberta Health.
What are your thoughts, Lauren? I think you're the rep now, correct?
I am. I personally don't see a lot of value in us remaining there.
It would be your recommendation to just leave that vacant?
If you want. If it becomes an issue in the future, I think we could probably rejoin.
Okay. Sound good? Okay, now we get to our IDPs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just, yeah, the only thing I would stress is I think if there's obviously somewhere that maybe you have a closer connection to, I think that generally leads itself to having just that already pre-established relationship. Be mindful of where you're sitting as far as your committee appointments. I would also say primarily to Tony, depending on when you are part of a IDP committee, you might meet regularly if there's an issue. I know for a couple that I've sat on, you might go a term without having a meeting. It is really hit or miss depending on kind of what's percolating, what's happening. But top of our list is the City of Lethbridge. 3 members as part of that IDP committee. Do I have interest in the City of Lethbridge IDP committee? We got lots. We'll vote.
That doesn't matter,
No, but then do those three. I'll back on with that. Yeah.
You're okay, Stanley?
Yeah, I can stay
Okay.
there if you want.
Okay, so Mark, myself, and Lauren. Okay.
Because they're reluctant to meet with us anyways, so.
Yeah. Sure, the last 5 minutes.
Mark, Lauren, and myself.
John, were you interested?
I was, but I've got other commitments, so that's fine.
Town of Coaldale, 3 members. Interest in the Town of Coaldale IDP. Mark? Who was on that one?
You, Lauren, and Mark.
Is there any interest in the Town of Coaldale IDP? Yeah. Yeah.
Don't all fight over it. Can I get those names again? Sorry. So what was that? Okay.
That's for the city, right?
Yeah, Town of Coaldale.
Or Town of Coaldale.
Same, yeah. Town of Colehurst. John, Eric. Kevin? Tony? Cool, okay. So I've got Kevin, John, and Tony for Colehurst. Good. Okay, Nobleford, IDP. Kevin, Eric.
That might be like a crunch to my docket.
I mean, I would, if there's no other interest. Oh, we only need 2? Perfect. Wonderful.
Oh, sorry.
You don't have to come north of the river, you're safe.
Well, that's what, I mean, your dad does give me a really hard time every time I see him.
Oh, made it across the river, did we?
I'll wait for Lauren.
Either that or there's somebody actually breaking.
Somebody actually.
Scare him off?
That wasn't me.
Town of Pitcher Butte, IDP, 3 members. Eric. Tony. John?
Okay, sure.
Eric, Tony, and John. Sound good? Perfect. And the Village of Barons. Not Barnwell. Eric? Any other interest in the Village of Barons?
Only one.
Perfect. Okay, that brings us back. Number 17, the Lethbridge Regional Waste Management Services Commission, 2 members. John has interest. Kevin has interest. Any other interest? We're good with that? Okay. John and Kevin. Where are we sitting, Cole?
Tony has 6, Lauren has 8, Eric has 6, Tori has 7, John has 8, Kevin has 9, Mark has 8. So Eric and Tony with 6 and Tori with 7 would be the, if we're gonna bump those up a couple.
Okay. Lethbridge Regional Water Services Commission. Cole, can you kind of give just a brief on what that is?
Yes, so I think that this is an evolving commission or needs some evolution. So right now it is a joint commission between Lethbridge County and the town of Coaldale, primarily formulated around the joint ownership of the pipeline or the domestic water pipeline between the city of Lethbridge and the town of Coaldale. Historically, the city only wanted to deal with one regional customer, so the commission also acted as the intermediary for billing to a lot of the other municipalities that are not tied into that infrastructure. And so they're customers of the commission, but really they're customers that distribute takeoffs off of county infrastructure, not necessarily related to the town of Coaldale. So in our conversations with the town, it is their desire and our recommendation in the spring that we do a full review of that commission and just an assessment of what makes sense, what's included, what's not. What the outcome of that is, I don't know. It could continue as status quo. It could get broken into commission county, split up. It could be multiple commissions. We kind of need a review and a bit of an overhaul there. But in essence, that's the function of that commission. And water, as it relates to the commission, has proven to be very complicated. There's a lot of work to do there. We have some ongoing renegotiations with the city in 2030, so not in the next year, but there will be considerations for what those city agreements look like, what the distribution looks like, and this affects us and our ability to grow and develop in the county. So this is well, maybe not in the near term, but a very critical commission for us.
Cool. So I would ask for some interest in the Lethbridge Regional Water Services Commission. I need 2 members. Tony, John? Is there any other interest? Tony and John? Candace? Am I just not seeing it, or do we link pathway? Is that still?
It's on the list you emailed us, but it's not on this list.
We'll add that at 25 then. That's okay. Do we have 1 or do we have 2?
got a member and an alternate.
Okay, sorry. Water Services Commission, Tony and John. Mayors and Reeves. That is my Zen moment of the month.
Zen moment of the month? About the Lethbridge.
We'll add link as 25. It's just not on the list right now. Oh, sorry, the Water Commission, Lauren?
No, I meant the link back.
Yeah, we'll just add it as 25. It just wasn't
Oh,
there. Okay. Malloy Drain Steering Committee, 2 members. Where are we at on the Malloy, Devon? Is there still, we're at B now, or 2B, or where are we at now?
Yeah, so there's been several phases of Malloy, but yeah, 2B, which is the expansion south of the Cottonwood Pond and the utilization of the existing raw water reservoirs. That is, I believe, substantially completed, so a lot of work in and around Coaldale has been completed so far. Yeah.
Do you see this committee being called anytime soon for anything, or is that, where are we sitting there?
Potentially. There are several phases of the project left to go, so we're not done with the Malloy drain implementation plan completely. You might not have a meeting for the next 6 or 8 months, but I do anticipate meetings in the future to discuss future phases.
Okay. Sorry, Cole, did I cut you off? 2 members for the Malloy Drain Steering Committee. Any interest there?
Somebody
Mark. Mark and Eric? Any other interest? Okay, moving down to ORSC, the Old Man River Regional Services Commission. So can I maybe get just a quick explanation on that one too?
Yeah, so ORSC manages the subdivision and appeal board and helps us with a lot of our subdivisions. And so we're a member of the Old Man River Regional Service Commission. I know there's been some ongoing conversations there. I think that our membership is important at this time. They're transitioning the leadership, so they just announced, I can't recall the new CAO's name, but that's part of our correspondence for next week's council meeting. So I think representation here is important as we continue to evolve and see a growing demand on our subdivisions and development. But I can answer any questions or defer to Devin and Kaylin if there's any specific questions about those services.
Okay, and this one is vacant. I believe this is one of Morris's.
That's correct, yeah.
Is there any interest in ORSC? And to Cole's point, I do think it is, I think we need to be vocal at that table because I think they are at a crossroads. Mark? Any other interest in ORSC? Okay, Mark, thank you. Pitch Review Chamber of Commerce. Eric?
I'll take it.
Seeing no other hands, Eric, thank you. South Grow Regional Initiative, one member. I would, just because I'm down. I have more internal, but I don't think I have an external right now. But not really. But, if there's no other interest though, but if there's interest.
Introduce you to some people.
If there's interest.
Sounds like a winner.
Okay, okay. Okay, I will take that one. And then the Southern Regional Stormwater Drainage Committee. Devin, can you maybe, or sorry, Cole or Devin, can you speak to that one maybe?
All I would ask, this one's at a critical inflection point, so I'll let Devin speak to what the joint plan is and everything else, but my recommendation would be we maybe consider keeping the representation consistent on that until we know whether it's proceeding or not, because we're not really sure if all of the members are going to move forward, and maybe I'll defer to Devin so he can give us the full update on what the planned MCC and the joint initiative looks like.
Yeah, so basically the SRSDC is a bunch of municipalities across southern Alberta that got together to address stormwater drainage and impacts to irrigation infrastructure and the severity if a big storm event were to come and breach the banks of those main reaches of the canals. So we've worked on basically the horsefly spillway to date. Phase 1 is completed, Phase 2 just got awarded, and Phase 3 is in the land procurement stage. As Cole mentioned, we're also venturing into potentially a municipal controlled corporation just to have a legal entity that can carry on with these projects, because it is kind of been on the shoulders of the MD of Tabor. However, as Cole mentioned, there could be some further discussions that need to occur just based on funding commitments and some of those commitments being withdrawn for future phases. So like Cole mentioned, I think it is an important committee to sit on, to be as part of those discussions moving forward.
I'm comfortable, just we're down to meeting, what would we meet, Devin, maybe once or twice a year now? It's kind of been pretty slow. I'm comfortable staying. Is that okay? Is there any, yeah, I was gonna say, is there interest in an alternate? Tony? Any other interest in an alternate? Okay. Thanks, Tony. Last but not least, the link pathway. I would also suggest that this one is at a critical point. I know they've procured a piece of land that's really critical to them moving forward, and as it does travel through the county, I do think it's important that we have a voice at that table. So I would again stress that if this is something that you can attend regularly and provide some direction, I think that is important if there's interest in the link pathway. sorry, Ju.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would just add too that we've we've requested and the Link Pathway Committee has accepted that Ryan Thompson, our Director of Operations, also join those meetings just for some operational context and information as we inherit that infrastructure and have to manage and maintain it. So we absolutely need a strong council representative there, but just so that you know you will have the operational support in the room as we view it through that context. So you're not expected to know that piece of the puzzle to represent us on the Link Pathway Committee.
Clausen Morris, yeah. Any interest in that one? John?
I'll take it if nobody else wants it. But I would yield to anybody else, because I got a pretty good look.
I could go through our length, it's my area, so I'll do it.
Okay, good, I yield.
Yeah. Mark? Okay, thank you. Sure. John, do you want to be the alternate?
I got Eric.
Eric? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Is there anything I've missed, Candace? So then we would need two motions, Candace, one for the one for our internal, one for our external. So first I would entertain a motion to accept our internal committee appointments. Mark?
And move that we accept our internal committee appointments.
Anything further? I'll call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And John?
No, go ahead. Lauren had his hand up before him, but I would move that we ratify all of our external committee appointments as discussed.
Thank you, John. Is there any further discussion? I'll call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Appointment of officials, two of those. Number one, Axe Appeal Committee, Weed and Pest Control Appeal Committee. Candace?
So the current members are Brian Harbers, Rob Van Diemen, and Steve Campbell, who all wish to remain as the appointees to the Axe Appeal Committee. So this one is just the weed and pest control appeal committees that we appointed to, and it'll be effective January 1st, 2026.
Okay, any discussion there? I'd entertain a motion. John?
I move that we accept the three names that are currently sitting on the board for renewal as of January 2026 for the Axe Appeal Committee for Weed and Pest Control.
Thank you, John. Any further discussion? I'll call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Soil Conservation Act Appeal Committee. Candace?
So they separated this one this year. It used to be in with the Axe Appeal Committee, but this one is now, the Soil Conservation Act Appeal is now just the Egg Service Board as a whole, so we just have to appoint the Egg Service Board as.
Okay. So we would, I would be looking for a motion to appoint the Egg Service Board as the Soil Conservation Act Appeal Committee. Kevin?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would move that Alberta's, the ASB board be put on the Soil Conservation Act Appeal Committee.
Thank you, Kevin. Is there any discussion? Call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Is there anything else before adjournment?
Just one personal note.
Go right ahead.
Just to, most of the people on council, I think, already know this, but with the changes in RMA, the current vice president did not survive his vote. So the vice president seat is vacant, and they're looking for nominations. And our current District 1 representative, Jason, has put his name forward for that. So I have put my nomination papers in to run as the District 1 representative for RMA should Jason be successful in carrying the vice president's vote.
Thank you, John. Is there anything else?
Oh, I guess I should hopefully ask for support.
Oh, there you go. The floor is yours.
Oh, yeah, I guess I would like to make a motion, if I could, that the Lethbridge County Council support my run for that position if needed.
Any discussion? Thank you, John. I think it's important that the South has a voice at that table, and I think Jason's been a tremendous representative for us, and I'm sure you would carry on in his stead if you had the opportunity, so best of luck. Any discussion? Call a question. Those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And adjournment. Go ahead, Lauren.
Gotta come to this other thing,
I would move to adjourn.
Lauren has moved to adjourn.